mean, since you left, I guess, Minneapolis.
I think just being with everybody. We put in so many hours of hard work and just the grind that this year was. It's such a long season, so the hours can weigh on you, and then just for that to be rewarded is so special. And then just to share it with each other, like we're all best friends, we're all families. They're my sisters. Just to get to hang out, especially on that bus ride. The immediate after is so special. Definitely the best part, just being together.
What is when I asked Kirsten about this after the game yesterday, but you two had that one-on-one conversation right before she shot. What did you say to her?
I was just reminding her that we do showdown, the shootout like once a week. We do plenty of practice on those kinds of situations, and in all of those, she's our best shootout person. She probably scores 9 out of 10 times, and so I try to remind her that, yes, it is a big stage and a big moment, but it's no different than when she's going on Nadi, who's the best goaltender in the country, or just any other day in practice. And so try to just get her to calm down and to believe in herself, because she can take the pressure off of her own shoulders. She's going to do that, what she just did, 10 times out of 10, and she's just the best. So I was just trying to get her to calm down a little bit and let her know that we all believe in her and she can do it, and she did.
I know we asked you about this a little bit on Saturday after the Patty Cast ceremony, but now, after all of the last year, wrist surgery, you don't necessarily know what it's going to be like when you come back.
Mm-hmm.
You come out of the gates swinging. You break records all year. KK breaks records all year. Then the one thing you were talking about Saturday was we don't really care. We're focused on tomorrow. You had the 24 hours to soak it all in, all the last 12 months, and one and figure out how you're feeling about all of it.
Yeah, I think the individual stuff definitely still isn't thought about too much, because the Natty's still fresh, and it's just something that we've shared together as a team, and that's what the focus on. That's the big one that we wanted. If it came down to it, I would trade all the individual stuff away for Natty. I mean, thankfully we got both or all of it, whatever it is, which is really special. But yeah, the end goal and the big one that we all wanted was the Natty. So we're just trying to celebrate that, and still everything else is just kind of on the back of the mind and probably be thought about a little bit later.
People out here at a little after 4 o'clock today, and there was a multiple 6. That's just kind of the story of Wisconsin women's hockey fandom, isn't it? That you give them a chance to be at something, they're going to show up early, and they're going to be there for forever.
Yeah, it's insane. I think I was taking a nap earlier, and I woke up to a text from my dad. It was a picture. He's not here, but I think it was on social media, of the fans lined up, and I texted him back and said, I'm in bed, am I supposed to be there right now? And it's just crazy. They're the best in the world. I couldn't imagine fans better anywhere else, especially in college hockey. For women, it's insane. They make what we do so special. They make it worth it. If we're not playing for ourselves or for each other or families, it's for them, because coming to LaBahn every single day, even if it's a practice or even if it's an event like this, whatever it is, it's just so special because of them. They're truly amazing and so special, and I hope it stays like this forever in Madison.
Can you take us through the moment Sims scores the game-winning goal, kind of that chaos celebration, kind of what you remember, and just what that joy is like?
Yeah, so right after Sims scored, she hadn't thrown her gloves yet. I'm like, wait, we won, right? That just happened. And then, yeah, we're all in the huddle together, everyone's screaming, I cannot believe we did it. And I think probably a minute later, it fully hit me. I start bawling tears, just both so happy that we did, and also that's it. In the Badgers jersey, it's definitely a little bit bittersweet. But yeah, it was probably one of the most surreal moments of my entire life. Just the way that game went, it was one of the craziest games, I would think, in women's college hockey, which is how it played out. And so, I think we were a little bit down, especially in the third period when we had so much time and we weren't getting that third goal. And then, for Sims to score the penalty shot was just a wild way to do it. So I think, yeah, we were all in shock. But yeah, it's just pure joy. That's the only way I can describe it. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
This is cruel.
Guys, I lost my voice, so I'll do my best to talk. I'm gonna have to repeat too, but
Usually putting you through this again is
let me know if you can't understand.
What was the bus ride back like?
Loud. I feel like that encapsulates it pretty much. It was electric. I mean, everyone was on their feet for a majority of it, and then people were, yelling chants. Just everyone was hanging out with everyone. It was awesome. We had like some of the freshmen in the back, typically where the upperclassmen is. We were just like truly gelling as a team and celebrating all together.
how do you describe what was out here today? Seeing like a whole side of LaBahn. I mean, it's not a game, it's not anything. It's just people here to celebrate.
Yeah. It just shows like what it's all about. I mean, our fans are truly the best fans in the country. We're so grateful, and for them to show out even to like you said, like not a game environment, and like supporting us still and celebrating us bringing the trophy back. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. We truly do have the best fans in the nation that are very loyal and always supporting us no matter what.
Okay, I don't know if you remember this, but all the way back in September, you told us you were still kind of pissed off for losing that last game last year. How do the feelings come full circle?
Yeah, it's like Casey said out there, it's like there's nothing better than getting redemption and beating them this year. This go around, it feels like the cherry on top. I mean, we've had quite the year as a team, so that was the last one we wanted to capture, and we did just that. So it was truly amazing. I mean, I couldn't have wanted to go up any other way for our team. Yeah, I don't even have words to describe it all.
What do you think the best? You've done this before, so what's the best part of this next 6 months, really? From your experience of having done it once, what are you looking forward to getting to do again?
Yeah, actually, just put in perspective for some of our freshmen that sit next to me. I was like, guys, so we're 6 months out from like playing another game. So now we're in training phase again. Obviously celebrating right now, but for that, it looks like we're gonna take like a week or so off, take it easy, and then get right back to it, building back up our strength in the weight room, and then having that translate to the ice again. Get our feet out of the skates a bit in that way. We have like the world's, but like for the team in general, resting, getting off the ice, giving that a break. But yeah, it's focusing on getting stronger and doing all the things off the ice as well as on the ice to fine tune our skills and be ready for next season.
But things like taking the trophy places, going up.
Oh
the
yeah,
street,
that's for like now and the next week or so. Yeah, I would say. Yeah, definitely celebrating and just spending quality time with one another after what happened yesterday, and just the season in general. No matter what the outcome was, it's like we can celebrate and look back on what the year has been for us.
Can you describe just like the chaos at the end when she scores the game winner? Kind of take us through that, like, hey, we won, now we celebrate. Like, how do you remember that?
Yeah, it's very chaotic. That was the craziest game I think any of us have ever played. I mean, getting that call, I remember Layla was very adamant about, because I didn't see it, like even the people who were on the ice didn't all see it. She was like, she definitely covered it, and she went over to the refs, told coach, they signaled it, and I mean, you never see that, like it was like they called it, and then obviously Sims went, and we were all like, you got this, like you do this every showdown practice this whole year, like you got this. Full faith in her. She went, she did her thing, she scored, and then in that moment it like fully recharged our team. The momentum shifted and like a lot of confidence, and our leadership group was talking about it, but in the locker room, like we all had belief the whole time, so it was just a matter of it happening, and that was the moment. And OT was truly ours, and we took care of business, and Sims really took over the game at the end there, so it was awesome.
And then the end, though, when you're celebrating because you won, like, what is that like? When it's like, okay, it's over, we came back, now we won. Kind of take us through on the ice. Like, what is that moment like for you?
I mean, because I reflect about the freshman year experience, like they're all similar yet different, but it was this was like the most special like way to win, because it was so dramatic, and the game like flipped like that, like the flip of a coin. It was crazy. But it was just like, I mean, I still am in disbelief. Like, I'm like, did that really happen? Like, that's crazy. But we all were just in shock, like hugging each other, jumping in each other's arms. Like, tears were going down cheeks, and it was just like the best, most joyous moment.
Minnesota had that season of 41-0 in 2015.
Mhm.
You guys have the next best, like 38-1-2 is the next best
Okay.
record. How does that? What is that? I think I've asked you guys this along the way as you're trying to get there, but now that you've done it, to be up with the best teams ever in women's hockey, this group, how does that feel to kind of let that soak in from you?
It's like something else I still haven't processed. It's like crazy to think about because that team that you mentioned, like I think about all the greats on that team and I'm like, wow, like they had quite the college careers and they're still thriving and doing well in the pro league and whatnot. But yeah, it's definitely something like I'm gonna process over the next week and months and like be like, wow, like that was quite the season. Like, I mean, we'll want to try to do that again and like have that success. But this group, like no other group I'd rather do it with, like in the locker room, like on the ice. Like I feel like we truly have it all, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
When you leave for work.
And address the ball with his next three, so now he takes the club, turns it over. I remember watching Andy North do this a few times. He takes it over. I mean, looks totally natural. Puts it right on the green like nothing happened. It's amazing. Hey, unbelievable. You see the day before? Well, guy's about 70 yards from the green, right? Hey, just hits a little thin, puts it in the bunker, and now he's pissed. So this is one of those situations where you're so mad at yourself that you got laughed. So he takes his club, slams it down, he hits the top of the sprinkler head, and the sprinkler head, boom, jumps up. And now this water's flushing over, and his caddy's behind him, and now they're, and then he's taking his club, he's trying to push it down. He's trying to stop it. Oh my God, I was laughing so hard. It was crazy.
Ever done that?
What's that?
Ever done that to a sprinkler?
Nope.
All right, good.
Yeah. So can you imagine somebody that's a fan that's watching, all of a sudden hear these sprinkler heads are carrying off, and hey, we got a problem on fairway 8. We got the sprinkler going off. Somebody get out there and fix it. No.
Sounds like happy building or something.
Yeah. Exactly.
What was that like seeing that those fans out there? You talked about yesterday, the fans out there, but this group that just follows you wherever.
Yeah, it's special. I mean, driving home last night on the bus, you start reflecting on all the things that happened the last couple of weeks, and like I mentioned out there, the atmosphere Friday night was like, you were there. I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, it was jammed, and it reminded me of my freshman year when we played Michigan in the national championship game. We're at the old Joe Louis and got 7,500 Badger fans, and you got 7,500, Wolverine fans, and it's like, okay, drop the puck, let's play some hockey, and energy on both sides, and then yesterday was, I mean, I knew it was going to be well attended. I didn't realize it was going to be, that impactful. I mean, I had to get 38 tickets myself. And I counted now. The number was higher at a couple cancellations, but that's to me, the experience that the players have playing in that environment. That just puts a smile on my face. Because I've been in that situation. I've played in those settings and understand that it's unique, it's special, it's an experience that they're going to take within the rest of their lives. And so for us to be able to provide that to these athletes, and they were loud. They were really loud yesterday.
Somebody emailed me today and brought up the '73 championship game. Were you there in Boston? I don't know.
No, I wasn't out there, no, but I was a stick boy at that time. But I mean, Dean Talafist, they were down 4-0 to Cornell, and they came back, and he got the tying goal and ended up getting the game winner. And then beat a real good Denver team in the national championship game 4-2. I mean, Dave McNabb, who played goalie here when I was around, his brother was on that team, and you look at their roster up and down, and it's like we had no business, probably winning that game, but I remember my dad coming back. He had the red blazer on, the cowboy hat, and that championship smile.
Feel like that's the same smile that you've got now?
Yeah, I mean, you look at our players, and you look at Casey, and I remember, my dad was coaching in Pittsburgh, and we're up in Minneapolis, and it's game 6, and they end up winning the cup, and you go down the locker room, and there he is holding the cup. It's just something about being in that position, that smile. It's unique, and it's a championship smile, and so I remember that vividly. So. And then it's just, it's an opportunity. I remember seeing some of the interviews from the basketball coaches yesterday, some of them that had lost yesterday, and it's an emotional drain on you. I mean, it's just, there's so many things going on in a short period of time, and at any moment it could be over. And then, with what happened yesterday and the position that we put ourselves in, it's just your ability to try to relax and try to get in that space. And so, when you get to bed last night, at 3 or 3:15, you can't fall asleep. And it's like, well, I'm exhausted. Why can't I sleep? It's just your engine's running. And so it's like when, when I've done the Ironman before, you get done with that and you get home, you get to bed, and you can't get to sleep. You just spent 15 hours exercising, killing yourself, and like, why can't you get to bed? Well, your engine's still running. And so for the coaches, it runs for a while. So hopefully the next couple of days I can slow it down.
You hit the wall at some point, right?
Yeah. Well, you just slow. You're so used to this pace, and at the treadmill you can slowly slow them down. But in this business, it's always thinking about what's next. So would you have taken the shot?
I would have if you put me out there, I'd try, but I wouldn't have put my hand on it.
Yeah, that's it. It's the same thing about that 3-putt on that 18th hole. I mean, that's where you got to be free, and there can't be anything in there other than the fact that I'm going to make this thing, and then I got to be able to see it, and then I gotta feel it, and then can I trust it? Can I be 100% committed to that thing?
What does it say about your roster when it seems like all 24 of the others all wanted Karsten to take that shot? Just how they all know each other well enough to know we gotta put her on center ice.
I think that helped. I mean, I think when Layla first, mentioned Simsey's name in the short, quick conversation we were having, that might have signaled something to her that, okay, I'll take it. And so, between her accepting it and, me letting her know to go out there, it's just got to be, it's all on making and being successful. And if you're in that space, you have a chance to execute it. If you're not in that space, it's going to be a little more challenging. So.
More challenging.
Yeah, because any 1% thought of missing it, and how it's going to affect you the rest of your life. I mean, not good. I remember my freshman year against Michigan. We played Michigan 7 times my freshman year. In the first game, I missed a penalty shot Friday night, and I thought I let the team down. I think we ended up losing 7-6, and I was a mess after the game because I'm a freshman and in front of 8,000 people at the Coliseum. Guy from Madison and gets a penalty shot and he misses it and we end up losing. I mean, it's not a good feeling, but we came back the next night and ended up winning, and I got over it. But it's hard. But that's the thing about sports. That's what we accept, and that's why I didn't want to look at it. I don't know the reason why. I just felt more comfortable that we were going to make it if I didn't look at it. I didn't want to be bad luck or jinx it or. Yeah.
It dawned on me driving back that you guys through the playoffs beat everyone that's ever won a national championship. Is that yourselves? Duluth, Minnesota, Clarkson.
See, that's why you're good at what you do. Huh?
But I mean, that road got really hard in the last 3 weeks of the season, and I wonder what level you saw your team go to when it needed to, and did you know that was there through the weeks leading into that?
Yeah, those are the things we think about as coaches. It's Matt does a great job at Clarkson. He's won it 3 times. Gets his teams ready and prepared, and You know, whether we're playing out there or we're playing here, he's going to make it hard. And so, you know, you have concerns about that because, you know, you don't want to, we haven't lost a game at home all season. You don't want that the one to be the end of your season. And so it's like a relief afterwards. And then, you know, you saw Minnesota play, you know, the last couple of weekends, and they're playing good. They got healthy, and, you know, they beat Ohio State in that semifinal game up in Duluth and looked really good. And, you know, they looked good against us at different times. And, again, when you're playing them in their building, you know, you've played them 5 times, you've been successful, and the most important was game 6. And they're thinking in their room probably like, okay, forget about the first 5. Meaningless. Let's get this one, and then we can win, you know, on Sunday and be national championships. So, but this team was pretty resilient. I mean, we gave up a goal in that game and got down, and we were able to fight ourselves back. So I think some of the things that we learned over the course of the season helped us in those situations. And, you know, even with 18 seconds to go in a game, you still have hope. And can you trust the process? So it's but sometimes, you know, as a coach, and you know, there's so much pressure on the team, and because everybody expects certain things. And so if we had lost yesterday, you know, you could be saying, hey, we had a great season, we did this, we got this trophy, we won it, and you know, you have a lot to be proud of. But to me, what makes it really special is that last piece that went into the puzzle, and it fit in there perfectly, and the story that they wrote, and the way the game went. I mean, man, we could have sat there Saturday and talked about, okay, here's how I want the game to go, or you might say, here's how the game, you know, I'd like it to go, or what went. We would never have come up with the way that game went. I mean, as I mentioned out there, I mean, I was getting texts from different people, you know, NHL scouts that have been scouting games for 30, 40 years, and we've seen a lot of hockey in our time, and it's like, sometimes the game shows us different things that we don't expect, and yesterday was one of them. Yeah, crazy.
Pretty frequent topic we meet on Tuesdays is food. I was just wondering if you had a celebratory meal after you.
No, I had a sub. I thought we ordered pizza. Usually we have pizza, and the pizza tastes great on the road and coming home on the bus when we win that. So I thought we were having pizza last night, but I got Herber's sub, and it was average at best. Yeah. But when I did get home, I dropped Greenie off about 2:20, and then I get out to my area and I take my left going up the road, and guess who I saw? Oh, there 3 were sitting right there, and it was almost like they had a smile on their face because they knew what happened, and it was like they weren't going to come in to get me. It was like they just sat there quietly and smiled at me and let me go by. So it was outstanding. I'm thinking all these wonderful things happened yesterday, and now I'm like, 45, not even that, 30 seconds from my house, and I'm going to run into these deer, and it's going to be a mess. So, yeah, crazy.
No.
Awesome, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Love it.